Hello everyone, so believe it or not, I've got another Wolves news video. I thought news would be slow, but there's a lot of things going on in this 25-day break we've been having with an international break, FA Cup weekend, obviously missing a game against Arsenal because of the Carabao Cup final. But today, Strand Larsen has spoken about his exit from Wolves and what it was like the last few months while on international duty. He's been speaking. Also, Wolves allegedly target Fatawu, I think I'm pronouncing that right, the Leicester winger. And also Jose Sarr has been speaking about how tough this season's been and our hopes of survival, albeit it's going to be a miracle. Let's start there with Jose Sarr. He spoke to the official Wolves website, and it's been a tough time for Jose Sarr. He's been in and out this season, as we know. If you remember back to, it would have been under Vitor, wouldn't it, when he was in the car park outside of the back of the South Bank arguing with fans, really, and you know, he showed a bit of passion, showing that he cared, and he was saying like it's tough to go home to his wife because he's always sad and things like that. But he's been speaking about how mentally it's been very, very tough, and he said it's been very tough for everyone, even for me. I cannot say too much about it, just that it's very difficult. I don't like to lose, I like to win and help my teammates. In this moment, it's difficult to help them because everything is messy. We are fighting and trying to finish, trying to win the maximum points possible. That's what we're doing. The priorities are trying to work happy and get the maximum points that we can. I don't know why, but it's been very difficult. It's been difficult physiologically, but we have to be strong and try to fight. Try to help my teammates and do the best possible, but it's difficult for everyone. Our life is pressure. We have to handle that. It's pressure with family and in football, and you have to handle the pressure. In the end, all we can do is look at how it is day by day with Rob, focusing on training on the games, but the physiological and the mental side has been the most important. I have to be with them, and I can't let myself get down. I have to try and help them when they need it, but Rob has helped us a lot. Very interesting he says that. He speaks about Rob a lot in the chat. Obviously he's going to speak about his current manager well, isn't he? But it's all about mental things, isn't it? Because let's be honest, we only had 2 points and Rob come in, and their mentality and morale was down in the dumps after that terrible start to the season. He then goes on to say, we had a difficult period, but with Rob we seem more happy. I'm not saying that we weren't happy with Vitor, but it was difficult. We are working well. Rob is a good coach. He's very connected with us, and we are working as best as we can, and we are winning points. Not as many as we need, but we are winning points. Interesting that he mentions Vitor there and says, I'm not saying Vitor was bad. I'm not saying we weren't happy with Vitor, sorry. I think he's just getting that in there because he was linked with Nottingham Forest in January, Jose Sarr. He actually asked to leave and go there when he found out about their interest, allegedly. That's been reports. So if Vitor survives as Nottingham Forest manager, that could well be his destination next season. So he had to get that little point in there, didn't he? He went on to say, it's true that we've deserved more than we've got this season, but now it's very difficult. The gap to 17th is very big, but we are trying our best to stay closer. We have to take the best of everyone, so we need to take the best from Rob and fight and get some points. Good, there we go. He loves mentioning Rob, doesn't he? He was then asked if he thinks we can stay up, and he said, is it possible? Yes, it's possible, but very difficult. We have to be men to understand that. It's not that I don't believe, but I will do the best I can to play, to help and to win the maximum points possible, but we all know it's difficult. So yeah, interesting that Jose Sarr has spoken over this international break with Wolves. He's been captain as well, hasn't he? He's been captain at times for Rob Edwards, so his form has improved a lot. He had a terrible time of it, didn't he, when he got dropped for Sam Johnston. But recently, I think to the Liverpool League game, you remember the save he pulled off when he tipped it onto the post, and his amazing performance away at Nottingham Forest in that 0-0 draw when they had 35 shots. He put in a man of the match performance. He actually mentioned that a bit in the interview with Wolves, so if you want to read the full thing, check out the Wolves website. But yeah, he spoke about that game too and how good that was. But yeah, interesting to hear from Sarr. Obviously, he's not going to say, yes, we're down. He's got to remain positive. But it's interesting because it's probably the last time this season we'll see him, won't we? He's been here since 2021, which is crazy. Can't believe it's been that long. But there we go. Very high praise for Rob, indeed, about the mentality side of things. Also, I've been reading some articles today, and there was an article from Football League World, And the headline was Leicester City set £20 million asking price for Abdul Fatawu. The Ghana international has enjoyed a very impressive individual campaign despite Leicester's struggles, scoring 9 goals and registering 7 assists. Now, they know there's interest, but what they say in this article is interest is expected in the 22-year-old this summer, and Football League World has exclusively revealed that Wolves are targeting the winger as Rob Edwards looks to build a team that can bounce back to the Premier League at the first attempt ahead of their inevitable relegation. Very interesting. It makes sense. Rob does bang on about us planning for life in the Championship next season, and with this winger for Leicester getting that sort of output in a team that's just above the relegation zone. Yes, they've been deducted 6 points, but still, he's playing well. I think he signed, Leicester paid €10 million with add-ons of €7 million for him from Sporting after initially having him on loan. I think he's on big wages though. That's the only issue. But if Wolves want to go up, they've got to be ambitious and try and get players like this. He's 22. He's valued at around €24 million, which is about £20 million. This article is saying Leicester want for him. The only issue is, if we are trying to get this guy, apparently Bournemouth and Sunderland are also interested in him. And of course, they're 2 Premier League teams. So unless we outbid them or offer more wages, he probably will end up going to one of those two. But this is good to see. If it's true, I mean, they're not going to make this up and put it out in an article. That's just literally lying. It'll have no credibility. So they've got their information from somewhere. And this would be a great signing for Wolves. We need wingers, don't we? We need some wingers that can actually do something as well and create and get assists and goals. So I wouldn't be against this, getting this guy, Fatawu. I think I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, interesting. Let's see what happens with that one. See if he's going to end up a Wolves player in the summer. Also, found it interesting that old boy Strand Larsen, while on international duty with Norway, has been speaking. And Naveen Ulal for Sports Witness has translated his quotes and put it into an article. And the headline says, "Completely hopeless, Strand Larsen and why he had to escape Wolves for Crystal Palace." And yeah. So the journalist said in Monday's edition of VG, which I believe is a Norway outlet, has published an interview with the Norway international. He talked about his move from Wolves to Sellers Park. Strand Larsen said, It has been 6 months that has been completely hopeless. It has been very tough mentally, physically, in every way possible. I didn't want it to end that way at Wolves because it's a fantastic club that I care about. I hoped things would change, but for me it was important to take a step forward. When you have 0 wins after half a season, there is of course a lot of pressure from outside. We footballers also put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We have high expectations and everyone wants to take new steps and be the main man, especially me, who didn't quite get it, so it was tough, but that's in the past now. Yeah, it's interesting because I've seen people reacting to this online, get up the quotes from Matt Doherty when he come out famously and said, do Wolves players want to be remembered for going down with a whimper? Do people just want to jump ship in January and bail because they can't handle the pressure? And now it does look like, allegedly, that Matt Doherty was aiming this at someone like Strand Larsen. Because let's be honest, I mean, we've all got eyes as Wolves fans. He was not putting in 100% at times for Wolves. He got a hat-trick against Shrewsbury. I'll always have a soft spot for him for that because it was my son's first ever Wolves game. So I loved him for that, Strand Larsen. Obviously, he only got the 1 goal from the penalty spot in the league, and after that Newcastle interest and after turning down those bids, even after he signed his new deal, which was a lucrative deal by the way, he just never seemed like his head was in it. And of course his injuries to his Achilles as well didn't help, but sad how it ended really, because he was good last season, wasn't he, Strand Larsen? And yeah, he says he's got a soft spot for the club still. I'm sure I think Wolves fans won't hate Strand Larsen, to be fair. I know it wasn't great the way he was playing, but he always made himself available, didn't he, before he left in that January. And yeah, so it's interesting to hear him talk about that. But now he's at Crystal Palace. He's done okay there. He's got a few goals, hasn't he? But what was annoying to see, the first game he played from at Brighton away, he was putting in 100% and busting a gut. And you think, why can't you just do that for Wolves? I know we're in a bad position, but there we go. Interesting to see Strand Larsen talking about his time at Wolves. But there we go. That's the news on this Monday. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video. Really helps the channel with the algorithm. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It's free and you can click the button. Thank you for the people who have done that lately. And also thank you for some of the nice comments on my video I released Sunday about the whole Fosun history. It took a while to make that, so really do appreciate people watching and commenting about that. And of course, comment your thoughts down below on these news stories today. And I'll catch you all next video. A few weeks to go till West Ham, so the videos will calm down a bit now. But cheers everyone. Have a great week.